Hello, I'm Daniel Slater and I am directing Janáček's The Cunning Little Vixen for Garsington Opera in the summer of 2014. Janáček is, without any doubt, one of the greatest composers of the 20th century. And of all his pieces, the piece that's probably the most beautiful is The Cunning Little Vixen. He's famous for having written a number of incredibly wonderful theatrical operas, Yennefer, Katyuka-Banova, The House of the Dead. But of all the pieces, I think the one that's the most mature musically is The Vixen. I would say that The Cunning Little Vixen could be possibly the best opera to introduce someone to who's never seen opera before. It has an enormous number of advantages. It's a fantastic love story. It's got extraordinarily beautiful music. It's only 90 minutes long, and it plays about a theme to do with obsession and love that everyone in the world can relate to. A lot of people hark back to the fact that it has its origins in a cartoon that Janáček saw in a newspaper in the Czech Republic in the 1920s. And when he saw this story of a fox in the fox's habitat, he thought he could easily find a way to set that to music and surround this vixen with other animals and so on and so forth. But obviously he wanted to put it into the context of a human story. And that, in some ways, is exactly where the conflict for any production lies, is do you emphasise that cartoony aspect, or do you emphasise the human context that he puts the story within? And what I've tried to do in some ways is to play against the cartoon context and put it much more towards the human story. The huge advantage for doing The Cunning Little Vixen in Czech, I mean, I think for us, there are many advantages. One advantage is that Janáček's word setting is incredibly precise, and one has to play with that at your peril when it comes to translations. Also, I think by making it in Czech, we make the theme feel more adult. Whereas in English, there's always a risk that it could feel like we're playing to the children's audience, which I think this production is not trying to do. It's very much aimed at an adult or a family audience in general. But also, this is a world where a man goes into a dream. And something about it being in that slight distancing thing that occurs in a foreign language, I think supports our concept, supports the notion of that world of dreams where language sometimes eludes us and where meaning escapes us. I really hope you enjoy it when you see it in the summer, and if I'm there, I would love to know what you think and if you love the piece as much as I do.